What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zary, and I am joined with a special guest, Bones. Say hi, Bones. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, so what we're doing here is we are doing a new monthly feature called Goblin News. What we're going to do is we're going to break down topics, and I'm going to let Bones get into that. So, Bones, tell them what we're doing on Goblin News.
So basically, if you guys have seen Urs and Cubs fan Han do their rogue actions, I believe it's called, we're just pretty much doing the same thing. We're gonna have three subjects on Zary's page here, and then for the second part, if you want to get all the rest of the news and everything every month, then you got to come over to my channel and see the other three. And Zary will be there with me too, but we're splitting the video pretty much in half. And to see both, you got to watch both our channels.
Absolutely. And what we're doing right now, just so everybody knows, is we're going to kind of do the month of August, the beginning of September in this episode, and then it's going to be the last Sunday of every month, and then we'll review everything that came back through for that month. So if there's things you'd like to see us discuss, make sure you get into Bones' Discord or my Discord. And if you're not subscribed to either of us, you should be. Right, Bones?
Yep, that's right. We both got some good stuff on both channels, so he just been around a little bit longer than me, but got some good stuff coming, so come check me out.
So, first thing we are going to talk about, because we're going to jump right into this because we got a lot to discuss, is we are actually going to talk about the T8 raid and our thoughts on the T8 raid. The T8 raid launched, and my guild, Ret, we joined it, or we took it down. We did one of them, and we took it down. So, my overall thoughts on this thing, I'll go after you because I've completed it. I've seen rewards. So tell me what you think about the T8 raid.
Well, we did it. We've tried it once and failed. We got about 75% on Ericar, and then we couldn't get any farther. At the same time, this is a whole other subject, but I'm telling you, we've maybe lost 4 to 5 people this week, including my friend Dusty, who's on my channel. He actually quit, and so that was while we were signed up, getting ready for the T8. So we might have been able to beat it if we would have had a few more people. A lot of people are quitting, and so we didn't really get it. But overall, it's just really hard. And here's something I was talking about with Dusty, and he mentioned that it's kind of like they prep you and they teach you how to do it slowly every time you reach up a tier. Mm-hmm. So you farm these characters like Master Duo, or let's say Yogi or whoever, to put blind on them or whatever, and that's the strategy and then that's how you know how to beat it. And then tier 8, they just completely kind of negated that, and I've seen a few videos that have been put out, I mean, from a lot of people that we talked to have said, there's a few, it can be beat, you know what I'm saying. I guess I feel like they shouldn't have took away blind. That's okay. I don't not like it. I just wish they wouldn't. I wish we could blind them. And there's one other thing they did to it where it made it just kind of ridiculous. I wish it was really hard, but I wish it was more achievable. Right. But at the same time, I didn't get the best experience from it because, like I told you, so we're down to like 16 people, and this is DB Official's old guild. Yeah. It's now down to 16 people. So we were like 47 or something out of 100. So yeah, what do you think about it?
Well, for me, like we've also lost 4, 5 people, and this is we took it down before these people decided to leave. Like our leader actually stepped down from being the leader, and it was more about brute force than anything. It was just, all right, everybody just throw what they got at it and let's try to burn it down. I mean, there was strategies, and Shaking Gaming, you were talking about videos, he put out a really good video of an attainable solo for like phase 1. But my problem for this whole thing is the rewards itself. For this humongous ass ache that you're putting yourself through, the rewards themselves just aren't there. For me, I mean, if you take a look, like I got the rewards down on the lower side of the screen. I'm going to kind of blow them up so everybody can kind of see. You get first place in this raid. You get almost 1 million coins. That's awesome. You get the 1,600 of the embers. You only get 2 artifact chest keys and 18 Shadar. Anybody who's placing rank 1 in the tier 8 raid already has Shadar maxed out. Yeah. Shadar shouldn't be there. Now, some of the other things, like, is dependent on RNG, like in the chest itself. You know, if we click on the orange chest, I mean, the gear is pretty much the same. The drop rates are a little more increased. You're guaranteed more pieces. That's fine. There's no real problem with that. You know, but it's still dependent on RNG pieces. I'd like to see some of those pieces come out that really aren't used. But the rewards themselves, I think, to draw people in. And one of the ideas I wanted to bounce off of you is, say we take out those, even if you left in Shadar, the same amount of Shadar shards as you got from Tier 7, because if somebody doesn't have them fully maxed yet and the guild wants to try Tier 8, it shouldn't be a deterrent. But what if they put in either one, like a chest, which could drop random hero shards, including the Battle Pass characters, right? Or two, you were able to get, like, you know, the Garrett season of arrows chest that you can unlock for draw coins. What if they put keys for that in Tier 8, and every month you just got more of those keys? Not a lot, maybe like
genius.
10. But I think if they just keep the artifact keys in there, but just put in those keys, people would be running Tier 8 to get those Battle Pass characters like crazy. For me, it just really fell short.
I agree. I love that idea, man. Like you said, people would really be doing all they can to do it, where right now it's not so much the case.
Yeah.
And we've been talking in that chat, and farming characters is kind of one of the bigger concerns in the game. So that would be one way to appease kind of the flack they're getting and everything, just by sticking that in, and it would change the whole motivation towards it. Because as far as I'm concerned, this could have waited. You know, it could have been a positive later on. Now it's kind of a negative to a lot of people, unless you're a higher end guild. And even then, they're not finishing the TA.
Yeah.
And so, but no, I completely like your idea, man. That's a really, really, really good idea.
Yeah.
And I like the idea about making them chests and stuff, because it kind of makes them more random, so you can't straight farm character or anything. But
right.
It's kind of like how it was in how it is in Marvel Strike Force.
Exactly.
They have a store just like that, actually.
Yeah, and then, you know, my thing is, even if you finish in first place and you got 10 keys, it takes you 10 T8s over the course of a month to get one chest where you have a possibility of getting 5 shards. So it's really not that much of like a deterrent for play quantum, I don't think. It would just be more of a driving force, like competitions in the guild. There's no competitions in the guild to finish first anymore because people really don't care that much, you know?
Yeah. You're right, man. And I guess I think they should have just kind of waited on it.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, I was excited about it. I was like, all right, it's going to give us something to do till Battlegrounds, but we're back to just running T7 because we can clear it in an hour, and we're not getting that much difference in rewards. You know, I mean, the gold wise and the emerald wise, absolutely you are. You know, and the gear and stuff, I get that, but for the assay, it's just not worth it.
But for the people who are beating it, it doesn't really help them out that much.
They don't need all.
They're just getting the same reward they've been getting.
Right. I mean, maybe it's helping people out for the artifacts, but they've already probably wailed out on the artifacts.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think, have you ran it past them and said anything about that?
No, I mean, when it first came out, like when we were testing it before you got onto the test server, I ran one and I was like, wait, we're getting Shadar shards? So I emailed Blizzard Breath or DM'd her on Discord and I was like, hey, is that the plan? She's like, I don't know, let me find out. She came back and said, yeah, that's the current shard. And I said, this has a chance for you guys to like bring some excitement back, and I don't think that's really going to do it, but that's just my opinion, you know? So I don't speak for everybody, so.
Well, we had that discussion with her like yesterday or something, just amongst the chat, that they needed, and they were talking to us about making things easier. They just wanted to hear everyone's ideas. So you might want to run that by them again, man.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
I'll bring it up. And, you know, Blizzard Breath, she always watches this. She responds to comments on, you know, videos, so. You know, I mean, there's just ways they could have made it more special. You know, to me, the Tier 8 is just kind of like those after events for the legendary characters. Like, to me, it's just not worth it. I don't want to sit there and grind for 3 hours to get 500k more gold. I'm good. Yep. Like you said, they'll just make the reward better, and it might make it a whole different story. Yeah. You know, and I do think that, you know, like I should state this, that the gold you receive and the emeralds you receive, I have no problem with that. I think they're spot on. Almost 1,000,000 gold for finishing number 1 in a tier 8's awesome. But
Yeah.
after that, it's nothing to get excited about.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can beat it soon.
Yeah, no, just keep trying, man. And it took us everything,
So,
but we got it done.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Sith raid for SWGOH when it came out.
Yep. Yeah.
So, anyways, what do you think about the Garrett nerf?
Yeah. So now we're gonna get into the Garrett nerf, and first off, I have to say I love this character. I'm really contemplating whaling out to get him 7-star because he will dominate the meta. You put him in with the demon team. Like, for everybody who watched the new video, at the end, I put him against a demon team as the 5th. I ran him, and I was severely under-runed. Like, I'm talking 20-30 speed under-runed on buff, and I smoked him. Didn't even lose a character.
Really?
He's that good.
So is that the team you'd recommend if you will out on to run him with?
Yeah.
Who do you recommend?
If you want to use him in the arena, yeah. Because he's not going to make humans meta. The Soleus League just gets destroyed by buffs. He kills it. But if you have this guy, you're pretty much negating Kyra in one move with his 3rd ability, and then you're negating buff with his anti-mage arrow, because buff's dependent on getting all those buffs up to everybody, and you're just completely negating them. Because if you use your AoE on the anti-mage arrow, every move he just put up, whether it's, they have taunt, well, not taunt anymore, but they have, extra damage, or they have the block debuffs up, you just wipe it off, gone, like that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm gonna try to wail on him a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can get him all the way to 7-star or not, but definitely get the battle pass at least.
Yeah, and in your video we're gonna get into the battle pass for everybody who's wondering. But my big thing with the Garrett nerf is I really don't even think it's a nerf at all, because here's why. And
real quick, explain to him why they did it or what it was.
Yeah. So what it was is they're in his kit. Like, even when I did the noob series, I said that the debuffs themselves last for 2 turns. Well, now it's 1 turn. And it was brought up to Lizard Breath, and there was a problem with the English translation where it shouldn't have been 2. It was even wrong on the test server, and it just wasn't caught. So it was a mistake. Now, should they make an announcement to everybody and say this is why it happened? Yes, 100% communication should be made.
Yeah.
She said in our test server chat that when they tested it at 2, he was just insanely overpowered.
Yeah. And it wasn't really that big of a deal. It's just they're mad that they didn't communicate with them.
Exactly.
Because that's the only thing they did wrong. But.
Yeah, what they did by taking it down from 2 turns to 1 turns means absolutely nothing about how you're going to use this character. Absolutely nothing. You're not using him to put up freeze or bleed. You're using him to clear all the buffs and to get rid of invisibility and then bring the wood. Putting on bleed or freeze or daze, whatever, that's just a plus. But it doesn't negate his kit. The only thing, they made a little change in his potency from the test server to live, and I didn't catch it when I made the new video. They dropped his potency a little bit, by about 10. Still very high to start. He's like 36 or 37 to start. But I just think the whole thing about this is people just need to kind of pump their brakes a little bit. And actually, for me, it's easy to say because I've used this character. I've seen how devastating he is. People haven't yet. When people get him and see that 2 turns means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things, I think they'll be fine. But everybody just kind of pump your brakes a little bit because it's not a nerf. Now, if they took his damage way down or he couldn't dispel, that would be completely different. But to me, it's nothing.
If you guys don't know, he's been causing quite a controversy amongst people. So we'll get more into that in my video.
Yeah, we'll talk about that battle pass over there. But yeah,
man, I'm excited. So, because it's safe to say that he's going to be in the meta probably.
Oh yeah, he's easily, in my opinion, the best plug-and-play character in Dragon Champions. Hands down. Because of what he brings to the table. Mass Dispel, and anybody who goes under invisibility, like in the new video, I purposely fought a Pride team so you could see him wipe the invisibility.
Yeah.
When he dispels, he nullifies tanks. Salvador. Steel
Yeah,
shell means nothing.
that's a big deal because a lot of teams and characters rely on stealth,
Yeah,
and he's really defying. I mean, the trick with Mordoom and Kyra, whenever you put the imps as a tank, you could say.
yeah,
I mean, that takes away that whole. That's what helps me win matches. Is
yeah,
that whole little trick.
yeah.
That defies all that. So that's pretty scary, actually.
Yeah, he wrecks. He wrecks. Because any team that's dependent on buffs, okay, you put an Eric Shieldbreaker, right? So you don't get those buffs from more Doom or buff. He gets an anti-mage arrow, boom, gone. You do whatever you
That's
want.
crazy.
Now, it is RNG based. I get that. I heard some people, well, it's RNG based, and he's not going to come up with the arrows all the time. Okay, I understand that point, but look at the probability of getting the arrow. It's like 1 in 6. I'll take that all day. Like, I put him even with a Shadar, and buff and Shadar just fed this guy turn meter constantly. Just constant feed of turn meter. Like, actually, I didn't use Kyra. I'm sorry, I used Shadar. Because Shadar was just feeding turn meter. Buff was swapping turn meter with him. And I was just getting arrow after arrow after arrow. And I was just wiping the floor. So, yeah. No, don't put him with human. I mean, if you're running him with humans for, like, a battleground team, it's going to make him a lot harder to defend. People are going to have to take buff against him. But if you're just going to get him to use him, gear him, his gearing sucks. But yeah, put him with your demon team. Put him in that 5th on that demon team, and just feed him all the turn meter you can, and it's lights out.
I remember what I was going to say now is that a lot like Kiri, you said when you were testing him, or whenever you didn't have him all the way geared, or you just didn't have good runes on him.
I don't have, like, the test server. You'll notice in the test server, I only use the 3-blue runes for the noob series, and then it's the test server, so I don't go back in and re-rune anybody. So all my guys are in either 2-greens or 3-blues.
Yeah.
A lot of people on the test server have epic 5-star or 5-runes, because you can just keep refreshing the shop and buy them because we have unlimited resources. So they want to see their max potential. So yeah, their buff outsped my buff. I think it was by 22 or 28, something like. It was ridiculous. Like, they should not have beaten me. I should not have beat them that easy.
Do you think he's viable under 7-star, or will he be too squishy?
No, he's completely viable. 5-star.
Same with Kiri. That's why I like Kiri. That's another thing is we'll get into that in my video, but they don't like how much they have to pay for him. But if he's viable at 6-star, well, you don't have to pay that much for him.
Yeah, well, he's viable
on
at
the
5.
6-star. Yeah.
And I didn't test at 4, but he might be a little too squishy at 4, but 5, especially if you put a Kiri on there and hit him under stealth, he's viable at 5. Just look for a little more survivability in his runes. He'll be fine.
I think my Kiri's gear 11, maybe a 5-star. I don't think she's a 6-star, and I hold 18 in arena.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm top 50 in mine, but yeah, I mean, she's the same way. He's the same way as her. Just build how you want and what you want him to do. I didn't put speed on him the way I built him because I'm going to put him on a team that's going to constantly feed him turn meter. So I just focused on critical chance, critical damage, and speed, and he's nukes.
I love his kit. I'm excited, man.
Excited. You should be. He's super good. But we're going to get to the last one here on my video. And what we are going to talk about there is the shops. Specifically, people are upset, and I've been one who advocated for this, the Battleground shop. So, Bones, tell me, what is your thoughts on the Battleground shop?
I don't have a lot wrong with it. The things that people do have wrong with it is that all the premium characters are right there, and we're not getting any constant currency. I'm not even that mad about the characters being in there at the moment, but we don't get like a little, it doesn't matter, I don't know how much I should get every day, but I should be getting something more constantly so I can farm them a little faster.
Right.
But if that was if that was the case, they'd probably all get farmed pretty quickly. So that's why they kind of should spread, like Zara. Zara's been in there long enough that she should maybe be on a harder node, or I don't know. I'm not good at that kind of thing where it should go, but she should be somewhere else, a little easier than just that. Just little things like that. Maybe And there might be other things that should happen with other characters or the currency, but I'm sure it will change when battlegrounds come around because you're going to get more currency more often.
Right.
But they didn't expect for the OG battlegrounds to kind of fail so quickly, so they quit.
Right.
So they're not trying to be in the funk that they're in right now. That wasn't their purpose. It's
No,
just
the game was supposed
battlegrounds
to be
kind of
rolling, and
screwed.
they were probably going to have the Goblin raid coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, and so that delays everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think they made the right choice to kind of stop everything and work on a new one.
Well, yes, so do I. And
Otherwise, it might kill the game. Honestly.
yeah, no, all I was going to say here is there needs to be some sort of consistency. It needs to be paramount that there's consistency in a character rotation. That's my big thing. I'm holding off on my judgment on the battleground characters. I don't care that Roxy is in there. I don't care that when Garrett is done, he's going to go in there. I don't care about that because that's where they should go. It's going to be the hardest currency to get, but we need to start cycling those characters out. Phalia's been in the game since February. She's still in the tournament shop. Why? I still don't have a single tournament shop character 7-star. That should not be the case. That should not be the case. You know.
I agree, man.
So
I agree.
All I'm asking here, and I've communicated this with Lizard Breath, and you know this. You know, you saw the interaction. Is one of my viewers, Mustang Cobra, had a great suggestion for character rotation. We just got to find a character rotation. They need to announce it, and then they got to stick to it. Consistency is key. You know, 1 month they have their battle pass. Then they have the next month is their tournaments. Then the next month they go into the battleground shop. Then after 2 months, maybe they rotate into like a very late game hard node farm and stay in the tournament shop or whatever, or stay in the battleground shop. Then after a month of that, they go to arena store or
exactly. And that's how the other two big hero collectors do it.
Yeah.
And that part is the way that's how you should follow a release schedule with characters. Like they have that down pretty well.
Yeah.
I never complain about that.
Yeah.
The marquee characters usually come out a pretty good amount of time, just long enough for the whales to stay ahead of you, and you still have to not only are the whales ahead of you because they said in the start, you still have to farm that character.
Right.
On top of that, which is another 2 or 3 months of
right.
work.
And
so you're always 6 months behind the whales.
Exactly.
Even though
and that's the way it should be. If you're willing to drop that much money to unlock a character, you should have exclusive rights to that character for a while. The free-to-play characters should, or players out there should not have the Battle Pass character 7-star the same time as a whale. It shouldn't happen.
Yep.
And my big thing here is look at I have 80,000 tower currency, 34,000 arena currency. Guild I buy gear with, so it's like we need something to spend that on. So that
have you ever done have you ever done a video where you just go through every shop thing and tell people who to look for or who to farm first?
No, like I have a whole bunch planned for when they launch this big marketing campaign to get new characters in the game or new players in the game. So I'm kind of holding off for that because I want to see if they implement anything into this about the shops and the rotations before they launch this new marketing campaign to bring in new players.
Gotcha. Well, you should do that one. That'd be cool. I'm sure a lot of people will watch it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But
so yeah, battleground shop. I don't hate it. The only thing I'm complaining about is just the consistency of currency. Yeah. And I don't know. I think you remember seeing me complain that I didn't see Kiri for at least a week or two.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long time, and I got her 5 or 6 times. She was around Kissing. Haven't seen her again for at least a week.
Yeah.
So she comes in. I think in little patches, and then she leaves for a while.
Yeah.
And you'll see her a lot again.
I see.
She's the only one I'm saving money my currency up for. It's her. So.
Yeah. And then also you're fighting for exclusive battleground artifacts too. So, there's a lot to get.
Crazy is I've never even looked at those.
Yeah.
You can only get those artifacts in that.
Store. There's like two or three epics that are battleground exclusives.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah.
I had no idea about that. I might have to buy me one or two.
Yeah, you get just go to badc.info and they have artifacts, and then they have like where you can view them all, and then they have locations, and you can see where you can get them, and you'll see a battleground shop. It'll help you.
Also, go watch Zeri's artifact videos.
That's right.
This is not a plug.
Yeah, no plug. But there is we're gonna wrap it up here so we can get over and do Bones' video. So there is the first part of episode 1 of Goblin News. So Bones, I want to thank you for coming on the channel, and I can't wait to do our next part. And again, for everybody out there, if you are not subscribed to me or Bones, get out there, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. XMG family, we both love you out there. Bones is XMG family for sure. So that is what we got for you.
That's right, XMG represent.
That's right. Get over there to Bones' channel. Watch part 2 of episode 1. That's what we got for everybody. So we are out.